Just be real, just tell your story.
So I'm a waitress, and sometimes whenever I go to work, I wear my e-shirts.
When I first came into school, I did not know how to work on a computer. I didn't really know how to even talk to somebody correctly because I used to just be like, go to school, come home, and when East, I'm like, all right, I have something to think about when I go home. I have something to work on at home. I have a computer now, I can work.
Doing a project, and we made a Senior Life Center book. And for me, it was just talking with members of the Senior Life Center and finding out like their remedies of the past, just listening to their stories and like getting to know some of them better. And then from there, we placed it into a book, and that way they could sell it or do whatever they wanted to, like the members.
This year was the first year I started Adobe InDesign, and I had a lot of struggles because I'd never worked on anything like that before, like on a computer and try to make a book. So it was hard because when I tried to print it, the booklet wouldn't print out right, and I couldn't edit it right, and it was just confusing. We were able to overcome all of our issues, and we learned how to use it, and our client was really happy.
I'm working on a sign for the Cherry Valley Food Pantry because their sign was really small and hard to see from the road, so we're going to make it bigger to help people see where their food pantry is.
Other teachers would probably describe me as probably a knucklehead. Probably the one that likes probably a class clown. But in East, I don't know, I kind of have a little bit of freedom, but it's like a supervised freedom. And I like it that way, I get more stuff done in East than I think I do in any other class. I kind of get bossed around by a 7th grade girl, but it's not too bad. She's not too controlling, so I guess that's good.
So whenever I come into East, I knew that I didn't really want to work on the computer. I wanted to do more hands-on, and so when John and Tice told me that they were building a cornhole toss, that was very interesting to me, so I wanted to help them do that, and also have learned that when I sit at a computer and I'm trying to work on something or learn about something new, it's not as fun as being able to do something hands-on.
I did a project based on teaching kids how to cross the road, but by making it fun with a game, and they had to race across the road, and they had to avoid getting hit by a car, which wasn't really a car. It was just me in a box.
To be very dependent, and I used to follow what everyone else was doing, and my friends would come up with the projects and I would just go along with it and do whatever they needed me to do. But now I've become more of a leader and more independent.
With the Smithsonian Museums on Main Street for the way we worked, and I'm doing it with the Parker Pioneer Homestead to create an interactive tour of the different exhibits and stuff, so that the elementary students that come there to go on field trips can take back something into the classroom, and so that the teachers have something that they can do lesson reviews with. And in the videos it's going to have just basically the information about the exhibit, just something that they can keep with them.
I was working with the Smithsonian group, and I was asked to sketch out a map of the Parker Homestead area, and I did that. And then I brought that sketch back to the East class and used one of the Wacom tablets to draw a digital copy of the map.
I drew the map out, and I put the buttons just over where landmarks and stuff were, and then I guess that was it. I had to learn how to set up a video player because on when you click on the button, and then there's a little video player and stuff, and there's also information down below it, so I had to set up a video player, and also had to learn how to change scenes in between stuff, and this is all done in Unity. And
So for the parking archaeological site that what I was working on was at first making a VR app, which I was doing it through Unity, but VR is not widely used, and a lot of people still really aren't used to using VR. because I know when I first did VR, I was a little bit more like, kind of was falling over and stuff. So we decided to use make an animation, which is what we're working on right now, and we're doing that through Blender. And right now we're trying to get it all pieced together, make the textures, and then film a day in the life of someone in that village. Another student at our school named Lexi, she made the actual village area and all the buildings in SketchUp, and then we poured them to Unity, which then we poured them to Blender.
Our project needed 3D models, and at first we went to photogrammetry, but that's a really slow project working with the Agisoft software. It would turn out that the pictures didn't line up and we didn't have a model that looked good or ended up correctly or accurate. And we ended up finding a 3D scanner that hooks onto an iPad, and that's what we started using. But the problem is it needs internet to connect to a ScanNet software on your laptop as well. But because we were working in a remote location, they didn't have internet, they didn't have good cell service, and that made it really tough, and there'd be pauses in between the video and we wouldn't be able to get the footage that we need. So then we ended up getting a wireless network, a Netgear box, and we found out that you don't need actual internet, you just need a wireless connection. That way you can send the video to the laptop and you can have a connection between the two. And then we were able to get the scans we needed, the models looked good, and we was able to do it all together. We knew that they were going to turn out good. The first year I started off in high school, I didn't have EAST, but I did have a behavior problem, and I stayed in trouble. I was constantly in ISS, even got into fights, had OSS, and I just overall didn't do the stuff that I needed to do. In the second year, when I was in 8th grade, I ended up in EAST, and so what happened there is I really started to learn new stuff, and I actually felt challenged because in any of my other classes, I never was challenged with the work or anything like that. Because before, if I did something bad, there wasn't much of a consequence. Okay, I was in ISS, and I didn't really care. But now, if I ended up in ISS, then I wouldn't be able to go on a trip that I needed to go on for a project. I wouldn't be able to go and do stuff. If I didn't have my church card, I couldn't go into the hallway to do film, to do anything that I need to do for my EAST project. Now people don't see me as, hey, that's a bad kid, you don't want to take her anywhere. I'm more professional, and I believe teachers trust me more to take me places.
I believe the first time that I went to Parker Homestead to work and we filmed a few things, I was asking a question and this guy asked me if I did the commentary for the cross-training live stream. And I thought that was really cool because people were actually like recognizing my voice, and it is something that I never thought would happen, and it happened a few times there. So that's when I thought maybe people actually watch it. So in our live stream, we have a few things that I guess you'd say some other schools around here don't have, and that gave us the opportunity to work the 5A volleyball championship, and they reached out to us to work it, and it was just a really cool experience that we got to do that with a few other great people.
And I've been working with Wayne at the Win Progress newspaper to get him photos of our basketball games to put in there. So working with the newspaper has pushed me more because I'm used to being with teachers and they're just hanging my work up. But since I'm with newspaper, my work's getting published and people are seeing. I was bad. I was sent to the office. I got written up a lot. Since the kindergarten, I was a bad student. But since I've been in EAST, I've grown and I'm starting to become more involved in my work and actually caring about it. And teachers are seeing me as a better student.
I got to do a project about the book drive on literacy night, and I got to do it on my own, and I was kind of nervous, and I never did something by myself, and I got a lot of books, and we took them to the children's home, and then they got books to read and stuff, and when they won't have nothing to do.
So last year when I started EAST, it was my first year, and I really was just kind of getting the feel of the class, and I wasn't too concerned about finding a project and actually completing it. And then I got to realize that this class is going to be awesome, and that some of this stuff that I see other people doing is something that I really wanted to do. And so when I come back around this year, I was like, I got to find a project, and I'm going to find something that's meaningful to me and is going to be meaningful to others, and it could impact people. I got my project idea from an event that happened in a nearby city where a woman had lost her children right at birth. And she was so lost with grief that she didn't really know what to do. So she just kind of abandoned them on the side of the road. And when I heard about that, I was like, how does one talk to other people about this? And how do they go on with that? And so I got to researching, and I found Share Hope, which is through NEA Baptist Charitable Foundation, that deals with child and infant loss. And they help families that lose a child at birth or right after birth. Started a series of promo videos for them. And it's all about some of their events that they have there.
The Veterans Legacy Program, what that is the federal government is trying to find a way to connect people with their veteran cemetery more, and I guess bring more recognition to it. So we're working with Miss Marianne Parker, and she is the director of the Arkansas State Cemetery and Verdi. Everybody's got their thing. We have a TAD, people are really into that. And some people are really into English. Some people are really into getting good grades and getting all these scholarships. And my thing is I get to say I'm really into East.